Hey y'all, let's put together a classic dish using leftovers. Katie, welcome to Heritage Ways, and I have put together a collaboration for you that I'm so excited about. I think a lot of y'all, or anyone who eats food, can relate to this collaboration. Welcome. This collaboration is called Savor the Scraps. It's about using leftovers. A lot of folks are doing that now more than ever, and they need some new ideas. Oh my goodness, how in the world can we use those leftover pieces of stale bread, or the leftover cheese, or the pinto beans, or the whatever? How can we use those items? I've put together a collaboration. I've asked a lot of creators who are awesome to participate. Not everybody had time to, because I know this is busy season. This is gardening season. This is busy time for everybody. So I'm so thankful, because at the taping of this right now, I have 16 channels, creators who have said, yes, I would love to participate. Every week, every Saturday in May, I will have different creators to join me, 2 to 4 creators every Saturday in May, different ones, so that you come back each Saturday and I will tell you who the creators are, and I will link those in a playlist down below, and also they'll have them on their channels down below. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to list all the channels down below, all 16. And you can click on there and go over there, subscribe. Some of those are new channels, and I'm doing this also to help them out, because I love helping out folks who I've been in their shoes. And also, we've got channels that have way more subscribers than some of the others of us, so we're all just helping each other out in more ways than one. So go over. I would invite you to subscribe to all those channels, and also check back on the playlist every week, because at the end of the month of May, after every Saturday in May, you are going to have access to all these great ideas how to use leftovers. Savor the Scraps. Today is the first Saturday in May, and I am sharing today's video spot with 3 channels I want to tell you about. The first one is Cosmopolitan Cornbread. My sweet friend Constance, whom I've met in person, and we've done a collaboration together, and it was so fun. We have a lot of things in common, some things not in common, and we still just seem to just be like-minded, and just to mesh so well. And I love her, and I love being able to be friends with her. Also, a new friend, the farm on Route 66. The farm on Route 66 Family Homestead, and new friends and new to me channel. And I wanted to, I asked them if they participate, and they said sure, so go check them out. And then Freedom Homestead, y'all, a lot of y'all probably know Tangy and the family, and she has offered to jump on here, and she said sure, she would be happy to impart some wisdom and inspiration regarding leftovers. So those are the channels that will be joining me today. I hope after my video you will go over and check those out. Please make sure you're following along our Savor the Scraps collaboration every Saturday in May 2020. Here we go. Let's get cooking. Welcome today. I'm Miss Katie. Welcome to Heritage Ways, where we honor home, celebrate heritage, and spread hope. Right now, so many people are finding that they need to use up the leftovers and not waste food. And there are many folks who've been doing that for years. I mean, centuries. That their generations have been not wasting leftovers. And we are simply making a easy version of chicken and dressing. This is typically not the time of year when we think of chicken and dressing, but that's what we're making today. And you can make this at any time, and you have to learn to think outside of the box when you are trying to use your leftovers, or in the case of the cultural climate right now, you don't have a lot of choices at the grocery store. All right, the first thing I'm going to do, I should have done this before I put the gloves on, but I've just got 4 pieces of bread. We're going to talk about all this in a minute, but I'm going to work while I'm talking. 4 pieces of bread, just some store wheat bread. I'm putting them over here in the toaster because they're not stale enough for my purposes. If you already had some stale bread that's not moldy, use that. That's what my Southern grandmother always used for her dressing. Now, I've also got, and this is what prompted me to make the video, I have these corn pones or Johnny cakes. They're kind of crumbled up because they kind of got torn up in the bag, but this is just cornbread that we fried on the griddle the other night, and I got a little excited and made too much. So I'm taking this cornbread, these corn cakes. So you could use leftover cornbread, leftover chicken. It's a great use for chicken broth. This recipe is. This is not necessarily how I would make it at Thanksgiving. I would be more attentive to my proportions. For example, I wouldn't have so much cornbread. Excuse the dog outside the window. That's the neighbor's dog, and we're right here at their fence. I wouldn't have so much cornbread. I'd have more light bread. Now, my Southern grandmother used biscuits, stale biscuits, or stale, white bread. Any combination of that. What I'm going to tell you today is about dressing. Now, my Northern grandmother made stuffing, and that's two different things. So someday I'll do a video of the difference in stuffing and dressing. Just let these cool a minute since I put them in the toaster, but the idea is to kind of get the moisture out of them a little bit. Alright, so I've got this leftover cornbread or corn pone. I'm actually going to take some of this out because I can also use this for a salad. Now that salad I'm talking about is actually in my cookbook, cornbread salad. So I'm going to take about half of this out because this is way too much. And I'm probably going to freeze that and bring you another recipe using cornbread for cornbread salad. Alright, that is still probably 4 cups maybe or so. We're not measuring. Okay, I'm going to tear up this bread. And if you had biscuits, if you have any kind of bread, just sourdough, any kind. And I'm going to get it in here kind of bite-sized pieces. And I'm using 4 because that's what I have. Now, I'm going to add seasonings. I'm going to add 1 egg. You could leave the egg out if you need to. Food like this, and I seriously don't mean to be offensive, but I'm going to tell you this anyway and run the risk. I have had to be frugal most of my life, my childhood life, and my married life. Yes, I had jobs at some point, but then when I stayed home, I practiced frugal living and cooking. But I say I had to be. It was kind of a game, and it was very enjoyable to me. Still is. But when I would use what I had to make up a meal, and a lot of the recipes in my cookbook are made up that the family said was so delicious I needed to write it down. Many times through my 30-something years of marriage, and I've got 6 children, I would set the food in front of my husband and my children, my daughters-in-law, grandchildren, and I would say, okay, this is poor people's meal. And I mean that in the highest regard. And they would always, for 30 years, they would always say, well, that's the kind of food we want. Basic, use what you have, resourceful, frugal. So this, I would say this is a poor people's meal. And like I said, I mean that with high regard. Because I'm surely not highfalutin, and I'm not trying to be all that. So what I've got is bread. The egg is optional, but since I have it, I'm going to put it in here. Now, another thing I want to tell y'all, 2 things. I'm wearing the glove because it's easy cleanup when I get to this chicken. And I shouldn't have just done that in front of you because you're going to think I got egg on my hands. I didn't. Didn't get egg on my hands. So I'm wearing the gloves for this. And this is so versatile. I don't remember the second thing I was going to tell you. But just take some chicken. Now, this happens to be chicken that I had in the freezer. It was you know, pulled off the bone, deboned and everything from the store. So I'm just putting some in here. If you only have a little bit of chicken, that's fine. You know, this meal would be good with some mashed potatoes and gravy. It doesn't have to be just Thanksgiving. Alright, so we have leftover cornbread, 4 pieces of leftover bread, a little bit of chicken. I'm going to put onion powder. I don't know, just some, I guess half a teaspoon. You don't have to if you want to chop up onions. This whole playlist is about using leftovers. So if you've come here looking for exact measurements, maybe for your holiday dinner, this probably isn't the recipe. This isn't the recipe or the method. This is just how to use leftovers. I put about a tablespoon of poultry seasoning. I'm going to put salt and pepper. Probably a teaspoon of pepper. I encourage y'all during these times, here's an idea for you. Have yourself a Thanksgiving dinner. This is a tough time right now. May 2020 and everything that's going on in the world. Everything that has been going on in the world. Plan a Thanksgiving dinner this spring. Have a Thanksgiving dinner. You don't have to use cream of chicken soup. I think that's the other thing I was going to tell you a while ago. I am using it because I have it. But you don't have to, and you can make your own. Okay? Super simple to use leftover cornbread. You know, you don't have to add the chicken. Y'all know that. You can just have dressing. Now, I've got some, the healthiest I could find, store-bought broth. When I say healthiest, I mean it doesn't have yeast extract, MSG, that's the same thing. I'm putting this in here to rinse this. I bet y'all do this, or you've seen your granny. Now, my mother-in-law heats up her broth, and that's fine. But like I said, this is kind of a get her done. Use up the leftovers. If you want to heat up your broth, I'm not really sure why she does that, but she makes delicious dressing. And between her and my southern grandmother, that's who I learned how to make it from. If you want to put chopped onions and celery, you can. See, it's super simple. You're going to bake this at 350 for about 30 minutes or till it's warm inside. Let me give you a tip from my mother-in-law that I've never forgotten, and it works. I'm trying to get that dressing on me. Oh, this smells delightful. Her tip is to put more liquid than you think you need, and to where it's kind of, well, I want to say swimming in liquid. It needs to be really liquidy. How do I describe? Not soupy, but not dry looking. And that's an important thing to remember. All right, I'm going to bring you in and see if you can see what I'm talking about with the amount of liquid. Then I'm going to bake it at 350 for 30 minutes. Okay, I have a nice garden salad, and then I've got the chicken and dressing. I did have to bake it 20 extra minutes, so just telling y'all that. So this was actually 50 minutes at 350. I'm gonna taste it. That is super full of flavor. You do not have to go buy those boxes of stuffing mix, y'all. This is really good. Really good. Don't forget the classics. Don't forget the tried and true. Chicken and dressing, or dressing without the chicken, using your leftovers, that's one way to go. Y'all, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you'll get notifications, and please make sure you come back next Saturday morning to this collaboration. We'll see y'all then. Actually, I'll see you before then, but collaboration, folks, we'll all see each other next Saturday.